Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate ringsignnews.com. Got your questions here from spring.me/AaronRift. That is the place to submit questions. So let's get started here with the first one today from TravJC27. Hey broski, I see Dean Ambrose getting frustrated after his losses. Could this be hinting at a heel turn? Do you think that could work, though? He's still super over with the crowds, so I'm not so sure how it would go. Cheers. I definitely feel WWE needs a major heel. They're short on heels right now, no question about it. Brock Lesnar going face and Seth Rollins, you have him as the top heel. But who else do you have? Big Show? Kane? WWE really needs a strong heel at this point. And I would not turn Daniel Bryan. John Cena, we've been talking about a John Cena heel turn for years now. I don't think it's going to happen. So who else do you have to possibly be the top heel besides Seth Rollins? There's Roman Reigns. I definitely feel he's better off as a heel, but I could see him staying as a face, at least for the time being. WWE might try and push him again and see how that works before going with a heel turn. And after that, you have Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, he's really gotten lost in the shuffle in recent months. Ever since Hell in the Cell, he's really lost his momentum. And then, furthermore, the feud with Bray Wyatt did him no favors. And he's just been a guy on the roster. I think a heel turn would give him a fresh start. And one of his strong points is his ability to talk. And I think with a heel turn, that will give him more of an opportunity to be creative with the promos. And I think that could help get him to a higher level in WWE than where he's at right now. I would go with Dean Ambrose to turn heel. Yes, he's popular with the fans, but there's plenty of guys that are popular with the fans right now, from Daniel Bryan to Dolph Ziggler and so on. I think Dean Ambrose going as a heel would be the right move at this time for WWE to boost the heel side of the roster. All right, this one comes from L. Cooper 87. Hey Aaron, why is there so much heat between Scott Steiner and Hulk Hogan? Well, to my knowledge, the heat goes back to TNA. Scott Steiner has said publicly that TNA owed him royalties, and I remember a few years back he went on Twitter and started blasting TNA and blasting Hogan and Bischoff in the creative direction of the company. And Scott Steiner, he is a guy who is very vocal. He speaks his mind. And Hulk Hogan, for whatever reason, he claims he has no beef with Scott Steiner, but I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know what's going on between those two, but clearly there's something going on. And Scott Steiner, whatever happened in San Jose with Hogan's wife, it was probably just Scott Steiner blowing off steam. He's a hothead. He says things, and I don't know if he threatened to kill Hulk Hogan or not. I would find that hard to believe, but Scott Steiner is a guy who, I think he's a little too obsessed with his Big Papa Pump character, and it goes beyond the ring, and it goes into the real world, and I could just see Scott Steiner in an airport cutting a promo on Hulk Hogan's wife, and maybe she took it the wrong way and took it seriously. I doubt the police or anybody else would really take the threat seriously if Scott Steiner said he was going to kill Hulk Hogan. I think they would chalk it up to a professional wrestler just doing his shtick. I think it's just a case of Scott Steiner, going into promo mode and just taking his character a little bit too seriously in real life. But yeah, there's probably something going on between Scott Steiner and Hogan. I mean, enough to the point where WWE would have Steiner banned from the Hall of Fame. And speaking of Scott Steiner, got this question here from the Dark11. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. Do you see Scott Steiner returning to WWE to wrestle, or will he return only to go into the Hall of Fame? Thanks. Based off of what's been going on lately, I don't think we will see Scott Steiner in a WWE ring again. As much as I hate to say it, because I would love to see the Steiner brothers come back and have one more match in WWE. I think that would be awesome, but the fact is, both guys are up there. They're into their 50s now. At least I think Rick Steiner is. Scott Steiner's got to be close to 50, if not 50 already. those two guys, I mean, I don't know how much they could be able to deliver in a WWE ring at this time, but it would be cool to see them come back for one more match. I don't think it's going to happen. If they come back at all, it could be for a Hall of Fame induction, and I absolutely feel the Steiners deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Some would argue that Scott Steiner should go in on his own, but I think if Scott Steiner ends up in the Hall of Fame, it'll be with his brother Rick as the Steiner brothers. And the only thing I believe could be an issue would be Scott Steiner and the fact that he's unpredictable. And WWE's concern would be that Scott Steiner does the Hall of Fame speech and just completely goes uncensored and goes into business for himself and says something that really offends the people in WWE. They already edited stuff from this year's Hall of Fame ceremony. They're very cautious about what guys say during the Hall of Fame speeches. I would want to see Scott Steiner uncensored. I mean, to me, that would be a must-see Hall of Fame speech. If Scott Steiner was able to go out there and be uncensored and just say whatever's on his mind, I think it would be one of the all-time greatest Hall of Fame speeches. But I think WWE would want him censored. I think that they would want him to hold back, and it just wouldn't be as entertaining. But I think one day we will see the Steiners go in, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, especially with all the drama going on right now between Steiner and Hulk Hogan. All right, this one comes from John Bike 2. Hey Aaron, greetings from Michigan, home of Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner. Big fan of the show. Keep up the good work. With the WWE Network being free in November and February, is it too soon to do it again in April? If one can wait a week to watch Mania, then why pay for it? Please answer in video. I agree with you about it being too soon to do it in April. I don't know if that's what you feel. You're asking me about it. I feel that it's a good move to do the 3 months. Netflix does the same thing, so you cannot blame WWE for having these 3-month programs. And it has been effective. It's been effective in getting more subscribers, but there's a saying that you go to the well once too often, and this very well could be the case. If they do it too much, it could have a negative effect, but their attitude is if it worked for 2 months, it'll work for 3 months. April, I think it's a bit too soon to do another 3 month, but WWE, they want to keep doing it. If it's working for them, they're going to keep doing it, but I think if they keep doing it every other month, eventually it's going to stop working, and then who knows if it'll ever work again. All right, this one comes from Hale Rocky. Hey, yo, Aaron, have you read Justin Roberts' recent blog? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Please answer in video, thanks. Well, I did read it. It took me about 2 weeks to read it. No, I'm just kidding. But I finally did get through it. I felt that there was some bitterness. I mean, that's how it came off to me, at least. But at the same time, I do agree with some of the things that he said. To sum it up, he's upset that WWE took ideas that he had for Conor and Conor being honored and didn't really give him credit for it. And he also complained about WWE and their motivations for doing the Conor tributes. WWE being a company and trying to gain publicity and have good PR by paying tribute to Conor. I think we can all say that that's true to some degree, that WWE, it's good business to have a tribute for Conor and induct him in the Hall of Fame. It makes WWE look good as a company. So, yeah, it is a PR stunt. But at the same time, I do feel that people in WWE are really sincere about doing this, and they are really touched by Conor's story. I mean, I think there's no question about that. That Stephanie and Triple H and Vince and all of them are really moved by the whole story. And, they have their hearts in the right places as well. It's not just a company move. I mean, it really is both. It's doing the right thing to honor somebody, but at the same time, you're trying to enhance your public image. And Justin Roberts made some valid points, especially with the Ultimate Warrior. WWE twisted the Warrior's words. When he talked about the idea of having a special Hall of Fame induction, it was to honor guys that worked behind the scenes in the company that didn't get enough recognition for what they did. WWE kind of changed it around. They they altered the Warrior's speech and twisted it. But at the same time, Dana Warrior went along with it. She was completely on board with having Conor go into the Hall of Fame and receive the Warrior Award. So if she went along with it, I don't really see a big deal about it. And I'm sure if Ultimate Warrior was alive, he would be totally cool with Conor getting the Warrior Award and being the first person to receive that award and that Hall of Fame induction. I don't think the Warrior would have objected to it. So to me, it's not that big of a deal. All right, this one comes from RKO Showstopper 93. This will be the last one for today. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. At Money in the Bank, could you see WWE having a second ladder match for a contract for the mid-card titles? I think that would be another way to raise up the creed for both belts. I think that it would be best to stick to one ladder match. I think doing 2 ladder matches is overkill. And as much as I like seeing the carnage of a ladder match twice in one night, I think it's best to keep it to one match. I don't really feel it's necessary to do a match for a contract to get one of the mid-card titles. I think the winner should get an equal prize. If you're gonna do 2 matches, the prizes should be equal, in my opinion. I don't really like the idea of a main event Money in the Bank match and then your mid to lower card Money in the Bank match. Just was never a fan of that concept. If it was my call, I would just stick to doing one match with the winner getting the briefcase and the guaranteed shot at any title over the next year. So that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Please tell a friend about NoDQ&A video. Anybody you know who watches wrestling, have them check out the video. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding WWE Extreme Rules. NoDQ will have live coverage of that. And I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.